Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. I'll just put the camera over here a bit so that I can see what's going on. Oh, that's better. Put that there and then put that comments there. Perfect. It's got my screen set up just the way I like it. Good evening, everyone in the chat. There's loads of people in the chat already. And the question is, I've asked in the poll, I've got a poll up early this evening. I know that you do like a poll, but could Jamie Vardy do a job for Celtic? This one will split you right down the middle. Maybe not. 70% already have voted yes. 29% have voted no. There's two trains of thought behind this one from me, in what it could mean for Celtic, not only in a player sense, but long term. What does it say for Celtic long term? What does it say for the club long term? What does it say for the manager long term? Is Brendan realistically going to bring in Jamie Vardy this year and stick around long term as manager? Would bringing in Jamie Vardy be a paperweight from the board, a little pleaser to keep him happy the rest of the season? That's the big question, and it's the question that not a lot of people will be thinking about. You know, people will just be thinking about, he's an experienced player, he's a 6-yard box player, he can score goals. When you think of the crosses that will come in from Tierney and Dyson, and then hopefully we get somebody else in where the departed Kuhn has left us. Alistair Johnson puts in good crosses for that side. You could say that Vardy would score goals all day long. And Square Sausage mix straight in with it. Stop it, Baz, we all know that Rodgers won't stay. Yeah, but that's why I'm asking. Square Sausage mix, is the Vardy story just a little pickings, a little bit, you know, there you go, that'll keep you happy for the rest of this year, and we'll bank all the money and we're going to have a rebuild? Can we say that? See this rumour earlier, wasn't pie in the sky, but it seems to be gaining traction. Yeah, Richard, that's why I'm kind of... You've got to start thinking outside the box with these kind of scenarios. You've got to ask why. Why? It's not in Celtic. We've never brought in older English Premier League players for a long time. So why are we suddenly doing it? Why are we not giving Brendan Rodgers the money to bring in a new striker that's younger, that fits the wage structure, that fits the selling on? You're not going to get any money selling on Vardy. And then to add into the mix tonight, STV, there is a story about that I want to talk about coming out of Inverness as well tonight. Inverness Cali, remember them. But there's also, to add into the mix, goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel says he's in no hurry to talk with the club about a new contract extension because he's enjoying his football and he's dealing with the challenges ahead. Please don't say we're going to keep Kasper Schmeichel for another season. Sinisalo's sitting there waiting in the sidelines. I mean, is this the media just playing games? Speaking of STV ahead of the Champions League playoff game on Wednesday, he'll decide whether Celtic will get into the Champions League. We need to win this game, but he was asked, it's a massive game, obviously, there is priority, would you stay at Celtic another season? I've got a contract and it is what it is at the moment, said Kasper Schmeichel. We'll take that at some point. We'll take that? Who fucking wrote this for the STV? Jesus. Schmeichel is 39 this season, and although goalkeepers can generally play on a little bit longer, I don't want them to be honest. I want Sinisalo to be in there and be our number one, and I want Sinisalo to be a fantastic keeper for Celtic that has a bit of longevity. having someone at the end of their career. But anyway, he said that he's not contemplating early retirement as he pushes towards 40. He says that, look, I'm just doing my job, and it's a job that I love. The way I look at it, football is very unpredictable. You can take nothing for granted. Your one big injury could finish your career at any point at this stage. So you take every day on its merit, each game on its merit, and you enjoy every single one of them. For me, I don't think it's limitations. I don't think I need to get there or I need to go here. He says every single day I would try to work on how I can get better, says Casper, even at 39. He says, are we giving good enough? Do you know, after preparing for this European night, obviously he's enjoying every single minute of the game. He says, I'm very lucky in the sense that I've had a father who's gone through this process, and I've seen it up close at first hand. I haven't gone through it yet, but I feel I've gone through it. For me, I'm in an incredible position, and as long as there is that football life, then there's hope. There's a long life after football, so whether you're a football player or whether you find a better job in the real world, you just keep on enjoying it. You've got to enjoy every day. And having been a sunny day today, out on the pitch, diving about, Champions League football this week, it's not going to get better than that, is it, says Casper Schmeichel. Do you want Casper? I mean, I know that we're talking about Vardy, but the two stories have came out at the same time. Having Casper Schmeichel and Vardy, for me, I'm just reading one of the comments there. It says for Supermark. Let me get this comment up. This is my pal Barry was caddy for Dermot Desmond recently when buying players was mentioned. Dermot replied, "You do know it's a business, Barry." Yeah, it is a business, and it's all about selling and getting profit, isn't it? Celtic has become the idea. I don't like the idea of signing Vardy, but I can imagine him drop 2 foot kicking the corner flag and scoring at home. Vardy is the desperation signing. What kind of money would be asking? I think that the fact that we managed to get Joe Hart on 15 grand a week or something, he doesn't need the money. Vardy doesn't need the money. He could go to Napoli and he could get a big payday at Napoli. He could finish his career at Italian football. Napoli are it's been suggested, are in for the player also. But he's coming out and saying he's got his heart coming on to Celtic and to Brendan. I'd rather play a camel than play Vardy. Depends on what wages Vardy would be on. Could be interesting. But what does it say long term? What does it say long term for Celtic? For me, it tells me that there's a change of the guard and there's a rebuild on the way with a different manager. Who will be the manager? That's the bigger question. And I don't think that... I mean, we're purely speculating. But it feels... We've been through this before. Do you know, we've been through it many times before. We've been through it with Martin O'Neill. We've been through it with Gordon Strachan. We've been through it with Lenny. Do you know, we've been through it with Dyler. You can get, you know when you're coming to the end of the managerial run. You can sense it. Do you know, it's like we've watched the game long enough now, a lot of us, and you kind of know when it's around the corner. But nobody's talking about it yet. But we'll wait and see. We'd love to know if a photo of the agent outside Celtic Park is actually Vardy's team, a decent account. I'm not too sure. They wouldn't do talks at Celtic Park. It's not Celtic's way. Celtic always go down to London to do talks. If there's top level talks with a top level player, it's done down in London, out of sight, out of mind, out of sight. You know, it's never done on our doorstep. Never. Not for a lot of years. It's always been done down in London. All very well getting in a younger striker, but Where are they? Not many out there. So, well, there has been over the course of this transfer window. There's been strikers that could fit the bill at Celtic being sold for between 5 and 15 million. I just think that he's more mobile than Adam Ida. Boom! There's the first one of the night. I'm just joking. Sinisalo's proves himself. If it's no broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I think it's... I mean, would you accept talking about keeping Casper? And it's not coming out of Celtic. I mean, I think that Celtic are of the agreement. I still think it's the end of the 3 years. Casper agrees to stay to help Brendan to get to the end of the 3 year stint. It's all looking, and I don't want to say it, but it's all looking that it's towards Brendan's swan song, and it's about just give him enough to keep him happy, and maybe the Vardy just a little bit of, we're sitting with a big bar of chocolate at the board table, and there's Brendan with an empty wrapper, crisp wrapper, the biscuit wrapper, and the board are going, there you go, Brendan, you have that as a little, just to keep you happy, a little snippet. That's the 100 million. There's what you're getting, Brendan. A burst wrapper. But the burst wrapper is Jamie Vardy. And maybe it is. I'm just thinking out loud. We're trying to double guess exactly what the boards are doing. And I just don't see... For that comment that said that they were a business, the comment we had up earlier about Dermot Desmond saying it's a business, it doesn't make business sense to bring in Vardy. He's not going to sell more shirts. You're not going to get 10,000 people going fucking Vardy on the back of the shirt. It's not going to happen. So what is it? Do you know? And I was struggling to honestly find a striker. Brendan Rodgers is never happy, says Paul. I'm hoping the Irish bloke geezer Grealish gets it there forever. I just think it's a weird one. And if it does happen, there's a lot of other questions that it then throws up for me, and it all points to. Who's that? Baz, the board not giving Brendan big money to spend. He's leaving at the end of the season. Money's for the next manager. That's what it's looking like, isn't it? I mean, any reasonable person with it, football and business knowledge, Napoli are in for him. Well, they've not made an offer yet, but he's coming out supposedly in the media saying that he wants to come to Celtic. You know, he's kind of he's pushing. There's no smoke without fire with these things. There is no smoke without fire. It doesn't make business sense hoarding cash, paying the taxman 10 million a season. You're not paying 10 million on the profits though. You're not paying 10 million on the money that's in the bank. The way that the accountants work is, that profit would have been taxed on the 1 year. It doesn't keep on getting taxed, even though the money's sitting in the bank. You're not going to get 10 million tax on it. But he would score up goals up here easily. He's not a Kyogo though, is he? He's not a Kyogo. B says yes and no. They're keeping all the money. Vardy's going to be on a decent wage though, surely. I mean, he's not going to come to Celtic for under 20 grand like what Schmeichel did. I mean, and like what Joe Hart did. Apparently Van Hooijdonk is on Celtic's radar. He's only 53. Oh, and he'd be standing at the back going, "There's Pierre." There's only one Pierre. Vardy does join. Banker, he'll score against the Huns. Any decent striker that we bring in though should be any proven goal scorer. Should be able to score goals with the amount that we put in. Vardy sounds counter-attacking football with us, not a low block. Yeah, exactly. That's, do you know, how's he going to fit in the rough and tumble of Scottish football? It doesn't make sense. But then you could say the way that Celtic are trying to play this season with the 4-2-3-1 formation is that we are trying to pull teams out a little bit, and then that could help Vardy on the attack. I don't know. I just think it's pure speculation, and I think it coming out the day that Kasper Schmeichel does an interview with STV, and they ask him about signing a contract extension. It's like, no, I don't really want Kasper to stay next season. Do you know, he's good, but I go back to the cup final, the Scottish Cup final, and I said at the time that Sinisalo was in better form. You've got to look at players at form. Don't look at what they've done in the past. You can only look at the here and now. And at that point last season, Sinisalo had a fantastic run to the end of the season. He was playing brilliant. He was playing out his skin. The distribution for the back, the quickness, he moving the ball out. You know, you seen it the other night when he was playing. It was like he threw the ball out to Callum McGregor. And when he's throwing the ball at Callum, he's like that to Callum. Turn around and forward. None of this to the back pitch. Sinisalo doesn't like giving the ball out to fucking whoever's playing beside Cameron Carter-Vickers, because he knows it's putting pressure on him. Teams are getting used to it. They're going to come down and put pressure on Celtic. Sinisalo's like that. Fuck that. Get the ball up the pitch. I thought this is Celtic, you know. I prefer Sinisalo. Love it, prefer Sinisalo. Vardy's 38-year-old with no pre-season. Exactly. He's not had a pre-season. It goes against everything that Brendan Rodgers talks about. Player coming in, having a good pre-season, getting that fitness built up. And then we go and bring in Vardy, who's had no pre-season, who's been sitting with his pipe and slippers all summer. I mean, he will have been training, but he's not been playing games, you know. So, agreed. Sinisalo should have played the cup final. Cost us the treble. Yeah, it wasn't so much the hand of God or smell the glove. It was slip the glove, wasn't it? It was our very own, and I'm going to say it. It was our own Slippy G moment, wasn't it? When that ball goes under his hand, skips off his hand. That was with Brendan Rodgers as well. There's a reoccurring thing here. I'm going to get all philosophical. There's a reoccurring thing with big players at the end of their career having mishaps. Costing Brendan Rodgers big time. Hopefully it doesn't happen this friggin' season. And don't bring fucking Vardy into Celtic, please. Jesus. Vardy's as fit as a butcher's dug. Baz, how do you know Vardy's pre-season? It wasn't me that said it. It was a comment. Let me go back and see the comment. He's not had a pre-season. Who's he played games with? Who's Vardy played games with? Go on then, where was that comment? Lost it now. Sligo boy, there it is. How do you know Vardy's pre-seasons? Words of no substance. Tell me what team he's played with pre-season and what pre-season games he played in. I'll not sit and wait about too long because you'll not be able to tell me. Because like the rest of us, he's not been playing football. He's not got a team. And if he's not in a team and he's not registered with a team, he cannot play in pre-season friendlies. He has to be registered with a team to play in pre-season friendlies. It doesn't take a genius to work out. You know, he could still be fit, but he's not match fit. He's not all the things that Brendan Rodgers talks about. You know, he's not all the things that Brendan Rodgers says he likes. And get a player in, get him the pre-season, get the fitness levels up. That's it. Spell it out right, Square Sausage Mick. That's why you're not getting on the lives. You can't even talk. Oh, Jesus. He's got an even high squitch voice. Vardy played with his missus all summer. I'm still waiting on him coming in, but he played 5 with his grandpa. He's a proven goal scorer. So's Henrik Larsson. Bring him back. Long-term solution or a quick fix. It's not a long-term solution. It's a quick fix, isn't it? He's a great football knowledge and experience. Could be a great role. This is what's happened to the Celtic support. This is honestly what's happened. Get a Zoom going. Nope. No, the Zoom don't go every night. I'm in charge. And I told you when Zoom would take their place. I think Vardy could do a job for one season whilst our young strikers are out on loan. But there's a good one, Alex Todd. There's a good one. If the option was Strelic or Vardy, who would you take? Oh. It's going to be Strelic because you've got the possibility of a sell on. You've got to think like Celtic. And you've got to think the way the board will think. And there is the two-way thing. It's like, well, do we spend the money on this is the way the Celtic board could be thinking. Do we spend the money on Strelic and he turns out to be fucking Adam Ida Mark II and he's pish, and we're stuck with these fucking clowns when Brendan Rodgers leaves at the end of the season, right? Or do you go, do you know what? Much as Vardy wanting, tell him to cut it into quarter and we'll think about it. And then they go away and have a cup of tea or juice. And then they come back to Vardy about 2 weeks later. And go, oh fuck, the window's closed. Damn, but you could still sign him. It's a difficult one, but you would think that the board would go the way of Strelic. I personally, you would go Strelic because even if he cost 5 million, you're going to get 5 million punting him on if he turns out. Brendan Rodgers might be able to work miracles with him. With Vardy, you're getting someone who, yes, career-wise, is a proven striker. Do you know, Strelic could be good for us. Exactly, Paul. Do you know, Strelic could be good for us. We might be able to, Brendan Rodgers might be able to bring out something that we need to sign Roy of the Rovers. Vardy on a 1-year contract. Strelic's pish. If Vardy's that good, keep the Zoom for Sunday. Yeah, Hank, it's getting kept for the good people. No, it's not. It's getting kept for. I did say this morning. I would see Barry wind up the current buns. He's a proper wind up. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Who's the Celtic scouts? Is it Stevie Wonder? No, it's Paul Tisdale and co. I see a big barrel and I was scraping the bottom of it. It says Stuart. Celtic transfers just flew past. Strelic is another Ajeti. You never know, because Albion Ajeti is doing really well. Did I see Ryan 118 video earlier? Nope. No, I was out. The board are incompetent. I've been saying that the board are incompetent for a long time, but it is what it is, isn't it? They're not incompetent. I think that there's more at play. There's a bigger picture, and we're not seeing the bigger picture. Is Tisdale taking the summer off? He was sent over to Belgium, remember? We forgot about that. He was sent over to Belgium to look at a player. And business is business. We do what we do. Celtic. Ajay wasn't suitable for the style we play. Yeah. What was that one? Get Ryan 118 on the channel. He'll no come on this channel. Scouting data. What was that? Scouting data is based on my Doug could do it. It's Quinny in the house. I'm missing. Hail, Quinny. He's not getting on again. Only joking, mate. The fact anything over 3 million has to go through Dermot Desmond is laughable. But who says this? Where does this come from? Because I don't think that that's the case. I don't think that's the case. And it doesn't need to go through him. He's only the majority shareholder. Do you know? It shouldn't need to go through him. The board of directors are there. They should. If the board of directors are having to go through the majority shareholder, it's then we're back to the fucking 1990s. We're back to the 1990s and the Whites and Kellys, and we know how that ended up with that fucking miserable lot. Anyway, I'd rather bring back Gary Hooper than Vardy. If Shin Yamada has more pace than Maida, why are we converting him onto the wing? I'm yet to still be convinced about Shin Yamada. I'll be honest. I'm still... it's Jamie Vardy. It's Jamie Vardy. Everybody's going on. It's Jamie Vardy. Who the fuck is Vardy? Just get on with it. Michael Nicholson needs to go. Strelic for Celtic. I never seen what's been going on with this. Right, who tanned the Hun shot in Rutherglen? What the fucking Christ? Rebecca Vardy. I don't like Vardy's missus. Who's his missus? I don't care. Two wingers, Maida through the middle, save us all the Vardy embarrassment. Haven't seen enough of Shin, plus I'll be amazed if Maida is here. Whoa, wait a minute. God, I dropped that story when it came out of Japan that it was being talked about, and I got pelters for saying it. AR, can he say things like this? Not seen enough of Shin, looks decent, but then again, so does Yang. Yeah, and that's the issue. And I think that having had this is the problem that Shin Yamada's got, right? Having had Kyogo Furiashi hit the ground running, boom. Rio Hitate scores a goal in his first game, annihilates the Huns. First season, fantastic. Daizen Maeda, absolutely brilliant player. Up and down the wing since Anges came in, it's been phenomenal. And then you start to look at other players that came in from Japan that didn't quite make it. And then you look at one that will let it go for peanuts. Anyway, but as the story's shite. Forgot who tanned was it a new Rangers bar? I don't know. I've never been looking at the news today, so I've been looking on just to check the Celtic stuff if there's anything happening, but let me just see this. That is the motor that they used to pick up at Glasgow Airport. That is the motor that they used to pick up in Glasgow Airport when the private plane comes in. So who flew into Celtic yesterday? Who was spotted coming out the motor? That's what I want to know. Because that's the motor that they always pick up when they're bringing players to Celtic Park. But why would they park it at the front door? It's not a player, because if it was a player, they would take the motor would go inside the ground, and then they would get out the motor inside the ground. So who was it? Who of importance was it? Anyway, there's been 327 votes tonight on the poll. 73% say that Vardy could do a job for Celtic. 27 say no. Vardy's in the East End of Glasgow, says Liam Miles. If Celtic announced Vardy in the morning, oh, fuck's sake, man. If Celtic announced Vardy in the morning, I mean, what does it say? Maybe they're bringing Paul McStay back. Maybe it was the motor that was sent for. Maybe he's been driving about going, boss, I can't find Fergus. The fucking game was weeks ago, mate. Fergus has been and gone. I was scared to come back. Make sure you bring that Fergus McCann back. It's fucking Fergus sitting on the fucking train. He's like, fuck. Oh man, what the heck? Bear on bear, I heard. Bear on bear. We angry bears actively avoid meeting us. Only choose women. Oh, jeez. Baz, why can't you buy an OEP ticket for the? I have no idea. And I wouldn't be buying an OEP ticket anyway. I'm not that fucking old. Fuck me. Your wrinkles that bad. Can't believe Liverpool getting 25 million for Ben Doak and Celtic getting 0. Celtic will only get money if Bournemouth now go and sell him to a club in France, Spain, Italy, Germany. It's not going to happen, is it? Ben Doak's career's just going. His career's fucked, isn't it? He's not getting a move. Celtic, and even if he did get a move abroad, Celtic are only going to get something like 1.2 million or something. Or I think that's even got to be split. Anyway, it's fucking nonsense. Who cares about him? Because he's not going to win anything in football. Do you know? And this is what I can't understand about the whole Ben Doak situation. It's like, yeah, go to Liverpool. Stay at Celtic. He could have won. If he stayed at Celtic, he could have got his first winner's medal, right? Could have done a double last season. Could have done a double, and he's went, fair enough, I've done a double. Do you know what? Celtic get some money from me, I'll go. But nah, he decides to his 50s OEP now. Tell me about it. Fucking cheeky bums, eh? Ben Doak's class that we don't have just now. I don't care how good he is or whatever, his career's gone. He'll never win anything in his career. That's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about the quality of the player. I'm just talking about. I've said this loads of times. You think back to what Scott Brown said about players that leave Celtic, and he said that there's been many players would jump on WhatsApp to Scott, and they would go 6 months later, and he was like, he said it was. I could put it down to the day that the text would come through, because that many players have done it to Bruni, and the message comes. You were right. You're right, Captain. I shouldn't have left Celtic. Do you know the regrets that they then have because they're not winning anything? The money's fine. Money's not everything. Winning, having those memories of winning. Ben Doak, he might have a good football career, but he is never going to win anything in the foreseeable future. That's all I'm saying. And if that's his ambition as a kid, so be it. And why are we even talking about him? He's not today with us. We get the grumpy Greek. Oh man, Canny, he's somewhere else, so thank goodness. No transfer fee for Vardy. The manager can spend money on 2 wingers. Can he though? Does that not take a chunk out of the wage bill? I don't know. Anyway, I've been on for 35 minutes. That's way long enough on a what day is it? It's a fucking day. It's a Monday night, isn't it? Monday night. Let's finish up the poll. We're on 364 votes, so it's a cracking wee poll tonight. 365. Get that nice number. He won trophies with Liverpool. Did he get? No, he didn't. He didn't get a medal with Liverpool. He hadn't played enough games to win to win. I've never seen him on any podium. Maybe he did, maybe he was, I don't know. Anyway, who cares? He's left. Could Vardy do a job for Celtic? Let's talk about players that are actually interested in coming to Celtic and staying at Celtic or being a Celtic player. Jamie Vardy, not Rebecca Vardy. Could Vardy do a job for Celtic? 72% say yes, 27% say no. Why, 50 grand a week. At least you think his career is over. Get yourself peace, Baz, says Big Bruce. Celtic are not paying him 50 grand a week. Celtic will not burst the bank and pay more than Cameron Carter-Vickers, than Callum McGregor. They're not going to pay. They don't. Cameron Carter-Vickers and McGregor's only on 37 grand a week. Vardy will not get 50 grand a week. Stop smoking that pipe of yours, mate. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this evening. I'll make sure that I'm here at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, as always. Where's that one? The only thing Doak has done is make McNamara a little bit more richer. 70% of people are delusional. Oh Jesus! Anyway, even Stengs is not good enough. They're all out tonight. It's hate for anyone that doesn't want to even think about coming to Celtic. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are. All around the world. The fuck did I finish this thing?